Here's docking compartment airlock. You can see both of the crew here just outside of the airlock. The first thing that they will do is install a clamp for a cable routing for the Langmuir probe activity. After they install the clamp, they'll move off to the right side here, and they will install the actual Langmuir probe. And again, this kind of gives you a perspective of what we're talking about with the probe and how large it is. After that, they will go back and grab this KPU, or this payload caddy. And they'll take this caddy to the interface between what we call the service module large diameter and small diameter. And they'll temp stow the caddy. As you can see the crew here preparing to temp stow the caddy at this interface. And there it is. First task will be to install the expose R on the left side of this universal accommodations platform. Then they'll go back, route some cables. And after routing these cables, then they'll begin the installation of the impulse experiment on the other side of this accommodation platform. And we were lucky enough, we did get some video from the Hydra Lab. This is their neutral buoyancy lab in Moscow, where they do a lot of training and preparation for these different tasks. And this is a view of Mike doing some of the training on this particular expose R task. The next thing as I mentioned, they're taking the impulse experiment, installing it on the other side of the accommodation platform. I should mention that a lot of the external wiring you're seeing here that's being done, there was several days last week where the crew spent a lot of time installing this wiring. Here's a picture of this SKK, or this little witness plate that's just being reoriented. And this is a little bit aft of the universal accommodation platform on the service module. And then we have a pause point in the EVA where the crew stops and they inspect their spacesuits, part of a standard procedure, and then they head back. Once they head back, the first task is to remove that second biorisk canister. And here's a good view of what that is, and give you a sense of how large and how it's not too big canister they'll be taking back in. Just below the canister, you can see the little blinking lights. Those are those aramide strips that we mentioned. And then here's the MLI flap that they'll be securing. And that concludes the EVA itself. As I mentioned, with the conclusion of this EVA, we'll have outfitted the service module with some more